Hello, welcome to Science of Education. My name is Sam, and this video lecture is for IELTS speaking. Right now, over here, I'm going to show you today the effectiveness of communication when it comes to giving your speaking examination. Right now, when you are taking your speaking IELTS module, right, you're sitting in front of an unknown person, and you tend to get quite nervous, which I don't know why. Right now, I will be telling you few tips, right, that will definitely be, assisting you in terms of gaining confidence. Firstly, when you're sitting for an IELTS test, right, whether it's listening, reading, or writing, believe me, I have myself given 3 times, and I'm going to share with you a very interesting thing. And believe me, it's true, right? Now, in 2004, I went overseas, Australia, right? At that time, believe me or not, like IELTS was not that famous, okay? I didn't even know in my life like what I really wanted to do. I was just going on hearing from a father, or even from my parents, or my like my relatives, even my sister specifically. I would like to say one thing definitely, that if I am here today, speaking that well, and I'm able to teach many students, and which I have done in the past. That is all because of my sisters, because they encouraged me to go out and start talking to people, and that's why I chose to go call centers in Gurgaon, India. Right at that time, I remember back in 2002, the city was developing. Okay, so the instance which I would like to share with you is that when I took my first IELTS exam, that was in, I think, 2004. No, sorry, that was in 2002, right? I went to my consultant. There was only one, okay, only one consultant in entire Patiala city, right, who gave me the book, okay, after booking my examination, and he said that just go through it and you'll be able to do it. I didn't even go through the book at all. I just took my exam and I cleared it, right, with flying colors, like 6.5, 6, 7, something like that. My band scores was. Anyway, I went abroad. I went Sydney, right where I stood. I completed my around 10 years over there. Now, there's one thing I understood. When you are having an environment where you speak English with someone, you gain confidence automatically. You don't think like that you're being judged or something. I don't know why in India, I don't know about other countries, but to be very honest, in India, I have seen many people are getting afraid of opening themselves in front of others, especially in English speaking, because they have, phobia in their mind that they are going to get misjudged. People are going to make fun of them. Now, here also, I have a story to convey to you. When I came back from Australia, I think it wasn't back in 2008 or something. I was being taken by one of my friends to a call center in New Delhi, where he gave me a proposal that, I would like you to meet my boss and have a tie-up. Like after, now you're going to soon be getting your permanent residency. Why don't you just open up your establishment over there and we can do a tie-up or something. Now, when I went see his boss, believe me or not, the way he greeted me was, "Hello, young man. How are you? What is your good name?" And I said to myself that, "What is your good name? What is this?" So I just replied him very nicely. I'm sorry, like I don't have a bad name. So, and he goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "No, well, I mean, you just asked me, what is your good name?" So I said, "I don't have a bad name." Right. And he just gave me the dirtiest looks ever, So I don't know, like whether he felt offended or something. Anyhow, so the deal was not through, obviously, because I judged him, right? Because he felt insulted, right? The thing is that it's your name. You cannot categorize into good or bad. Okay, name is just the name, right? You can't say that, "Oh, wow, you have a bad name." We can't do that. Okay. So anyhow, it's like now he was sitting, on a very high position. I saw his Mercedes, parked underneath. But my point is that you should always, trust your instincts. You should never be thinking about that you're going to get judged. In my previous video, also, I told you that. Anyhow, so coming back to the point. Now, in 2009, when before filing up my case and all for my residency, I had another IELTS exam, which I had to take. This lady was Aussie because I was taking my exam over there. Now, when I started speaking to her, because I was living with a female over there at that point of view, like at that point per time, and her boyfriend. So we had a very good friendly environment at home. All right. Now she started talking to me about questions based on friends, right? So I started mentioning about my flatmate and her boyfriend. Now, the conversation apparently went so friendly that my speaking took place for about 22 minutes something, right? We had so much of fun, so much of laughter and everything, right? I got at that time 8.5 in my speaking. I don't know, that point 0.5 lacked just because of my nuisance that I created. Whatever it is, it's not about the band score. I was pretty much confident that I'm gonna clear it anyway because I didn't have pressure. I never took that. I don't know why you guys take it. So my understood, the moral of this whole scenario is basically that when you go out and speak with them, they are not judging your general knowledge, right? As examiner, see, you have your own perception to something, right? You should not be having your opinion based on what he has to think. No, right? As long as you're speaking within the context, right? It's not something he's talking about like, do you like listening music, and you're talking about, yes, I'm very much in love with movies, right? Now, try to understand this thing only. When you're conversating with someone, first of all, never repeat your question. Secondly, give a precise answer. Don't exaggerate unless it's required, right? Or it's a discussion based question. Third, you are meant to do some kind of facial and body language movements. You have to do. It's not that you're a robot and sitting over there. If any institute says that no, you should be sitting idle and all that stuff, it's totally wrong. It's nowhere mentioned. Okay, trust me, it's nowhere mentioned. But it doesn't mean that I would be asking you that, okay, start jump and do dance and all. Obviously, that's common sense. Okay. So you smile. You are allowed to smile. You're allowed to laugh even. I will be doing this cue card with you like that. And believe me, anywhere you can send my recording, I can bet you, I know because what I'm doing. I'm not, overexcited, or I'm not saying that I am like a egoistic or have attitude. No, I understood the basic concepts of what, it's been asked and what is being judged in you. Try to understand that thing rather than focusing on, what others are teaching you. This is what I do practice with my students as well. I encourage them, I teach them the basic aspects, and that's how they have flourished. I have some students who, were not able to communicate in English, and now they have become confident, and I can put a vibe on them. They would definitely clear their exam, and they are doing. Okay, so today, cue card number 28. It says, describe a time when your computer broke down. Computer broke down. First of all, टूट नहीं गया, खिलर नहीं गया वो, right? It didn't break into pieces or something. It broke down simple means that it wasn't working. You were doing something, all of a sudden, computer just stopped working, right? Now think about, now I'm not writing any bullet questions. I don't even need to have a look at them. Common sense, understand, describe a time when your computer broke down. So obviously, focus on the things, time, when it happened. When your computer broke down, what were you doing? Were your data lost and all? What computer? Think about the questions yourself. You have one entire 1 minute to think, right? I never even say to my students that you have to take that 1 minute to come up with the African ideas, right? You can get in a few seconds, right? Thanks to one of my students, I don't want to name her, but she said to the examiner the moment he gave her cue card, okay, here's a cue card. She said, oh, I'm ready, right? And she got 7.5 in speaking. Okay, so it's not that she prepared the cue cards, it's that she was just, she said that I went there, sir, I just wanted to enjoy the conversation, and your trick helped me out, right? She was so confident. She said to me when she came back home, that the response was, so how many bands do you expect? I don't know, let's see after 13 days. That was her response, which I loved. Right now she's in Canada. Okay, anyhow, describe a time when your computer broke down. Now computer, you're talking about technology, right? So we have the word tech savvy. I think covered in one of my tasks. Tech savvy, you're tech savvy, right? Now computer, what else you can say? Thing is that you have to focus on fluency, right? And stay within the topic. Now, I'm going to speak here. Seriously, I did not prepare anything. I just picked the random number I saw, went across the book, what number it is and what the cue card is, and I'm doing it, right? So describe a time when your computer broke down. Simple. Now, there is also one thing, two things rather, I want to say here. I have heard many people saying, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak about the topic on why when my computer broke down. I would like to speak on. Come on, this is what you're doing. This is you're doing wrong. You're showing to the examiner that I'm buying some time off you because these sentences are crammed. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. You're not like sitting in a corporate office or something. You know, when you're giving interview, you don't even say to people, thank you so much, sir, for calling me for the interview. It is so nice of you to allow me the chance to present myself. You don't do that. Okay. Similarly here, you don't need to create any journal statement. Please do not do that. Okay. I definitely say don't do it. Okay. Now, for example, describe a time when you apologize to someone. There were a lot of times, when I felt sorry to many people. Out of those, I'm going to speak about it. Wrong sentence. I tell you why now. It's not that I am saying wrong. I tell you, you're leaving the information assumption, basically. And whenever you leave anything on assumption, which means that your coherence, your logic is breaking down. Correct? This is what it means. Similarly, in task two, I have told many times, I'm not going to explain anymore. Never leave anything on assumption. That is how your band score drops down. When you're aiming 7, 7.5, you can very easily get, right? My students have been getting easily now who were, like at first thinking of 6, 6, they are getting easily 6.5, 7 bands. How hard it is just to understand basics rather running after vocabulary, vocabulary, vocabulary. You don't need that all. Okay. Anyhow, I'm not going to speak much about task two. Now, in speaking, see your fluency. Fluency, first of all, never say that you have to speak fast or you have to speak very slow. Fluency just means that whenever you're speaking in any language, you should not hesitate, stammer like not repeatedly. Intentionally, you can do that. And there are some interjections, right, that you can use like so this oh yes, wonderful, wow, you, these express your emotion and you must use them. Even native speakers, they do. So what's the harm if you do, right? That is, like we are going to join interjections, connecting devices, right? Some phrases. This is what we're going to join to maintain our fluency. And most importantly, your body language. My cue card or your cue card should come up like that. Whatever you're imagining while explaining, the person who's listening to, he should feel, he can imagine the same picture. He should not be seeing your face, he should be imagining. That is how you're gaining your band score. And you're revealing to the person that this is not something that you did, like a rote learning or anything like that. You are spontaneously thinking and speaking. Right, sentence be like, okay, describe a time when your computer broke down. Start simply. All right. Well, I'm going to speak about this one instance that recently happened. About 2 weeks ago, I was working on something very important. As I'm a student, so I was taking lectures online. Right now, it's my bad luck that my university, like had some positive cases because of this coronavirus. So it had to, like close, shut down for a few months. I don't know when it's going to open. Anyhow, in order to continue with my studies, I just decided to, work on my computer. And now the computer, unfortunately, that I had wasn't working. So I thought of giving it a try in order to fix it. Now, I don't say that I am a tech savvy, right? But thanks to YouTube, it helped me out. Now, how? I opened my YouTube and I just typed on few keywords in order to find the relevant video. Once again, it was my bad luck that I could not get the same model number of my computer that I have at my home. Anyhow, but I came across this couple of videos whereby I could see that how to turn it on if I am facing this kind of thing. Now, what the problem was basically that I was listening to a beep sound coming at regular intervals, and then the computer was shutting itself down. So I analyzed it like what could be the problem, and we came out this one video that apparently if the RAM, one of the RAMs is not working properly or it's not inserted properly, you would be facing this problem. So I took out the RAM, I cleaned it up, right? Because my computer apparently it was full of dust, right? When I even, like I just this kind of thing, oh my God, believe me, entire dust just popped in on my face, and I was like, okay, so this was the reason. Anyhow, I clearly, cleaned up my RAM thoroughly. I cleaned up my computer system, the motherboard as well, each and everything. I did a nice vacuum. So I installed RAM back again into it, and it was up and running. I was elated. I even told this to my father and told them, I just saved around 500 to 1000 rupees of yours. I'm just kidding. Anyhow, so I started working on my computer, for 2 days. It was working quite good. And the third day, apparently, Zoom meetings, where I was taking my own classes. Now it was consuming a lot of internet, and I don't know why. Maybe because of excessive saving of my data onto the computer, because I had, I was having a less gigabyte of hard drive as well. So it started lagging. Right now, I was working again on it. Now, just after 3 days, right? I vividly remember this instance. My teacher was giving a lecture, and it was quite important because that particular thing was going to come the next day. And my teachers, they don't record the lectures anyhow. So I was quite, like numb at that time, that I didn't even bother about getting the lecture recorded myself, because I heard from my students, even, they do screen recording and all. Anyhow, the computer just decided to restart itself. And when it did, I tried to turn it back on. Oh my God, it wouldn't. Right. I got really frustrated. Now I quickly, it's logged in on my phone, but my phone is not that fast, so it was lagging a lot. It started, rebooting. So I didn't know what to do. I quickly rang up this computer shop next to me, which is just a couple of stones throw away. The guy came, and I'm really thankful to him that, at about 9 o'clock at night, he fixed up my computer, charged me only 2000 rupees, because there was this one motherboard chip which was, not working. So now, luckily, it's working fine. But he did give me an instruction that this computer, since it's too old, so it's better I should either upgrade my RAM, or, just change it to something, like i3 or something processor, which I don't know much about it. Right. Anyhow, so now it's working okay, but after like a week, maybe I will definitely be looking at changing my entire computer system. But this time, examiner will stop you anyway. Now, as you can see, I was not prepared, but I was speaking, right? Now, the fluency is something that he's analyzing. Now, he's seeing that I'm not struggling, right, to come up with some words. My pronunciation was good enough, right? Every word that I was speaking was able to understand by the examiner. My grammar was good. Now, there was no flaw. I don't know, I'm not recording, right? So it's not like I can analyze now, but I know that I was trying to bring, some kind of complex compound structures, where I was saying, well, this, thanks to, I used even, so YouTube, where I use, that's a grammatical structure. Now, these are few aspects that are going to raise your band score, as long as you stay in the context. Now, I don't even know what, the thing was. I explained about my feeling. How did I feel? I explained about the time when it happened, what happened exactly, right? So how I overcame it. So I rang up the person who's, living next to us. So these are few things that you should be thinking about, while taking your test, and the way you need to prepare. Don't go by reading and, searching on internet. I mean, you have the ideas. Even, like now, this one topic that many of my students even ask me, aquatic animal, that's number second cue card, right? That it's quite difficult. No, it's not. I mean, I made a cue card on electric eelfish, right? Because I know about it. If you don't, obviously you can't just make on a fish. You have to know the particular name. We know aquatic animal, octopus, aquatic animal. We all know about him, right? Super intelligent, 9 brains, right? So 3 hearts, right? So, I mean, these are few things. Now, it's okay if you don't have much knowledge. He's not asking you that you have to research online. It's okay. I mean, you can simply send the cue card. Although I don't know much about octopus, I never got myself delve into online research and all the stuff. Like, I find this pretty interesting topic, no doubt. Right. As far as the key things that I am already aware of about octopus, that it's having, 9 brains, and it's quite intelligent, more intelligent even than human. Let me give you an instance over here. So one day I was sitting in front of television, and animal, this thing, program channel is again Discovery Channel I was looking at, and that octopus was shown. I was quite amazed with its intelligence, having the 8 legs, must have had, was walking, and he was actually locked up into a cage. Now the people, after like half an hour, when they came out to see them, it was all gone. They were quite surprised, and they looked outside the boat, and if it was crawling, going towards the water. They started wondering, how did it happen? Lucky there was a CCTV, so they started looking at the camera, and they realized that how it squeezed itself and managed to get out of the cage. Right. So this is how it shows. It shows that how intelligent it is, this creature. So you're just talking. You're emphasizing on your emotions. These are the key things that will help you out. Okay, so try to practice your cue cards like that. Right now my session's already open. Okay, now my fresh batch is starting very soon of IELTS as well as spoken batches. If you are interested, please, there is number written in the description. You can send us a WhatsApp message, right? And you can also subscribe these videos to get some more every Sunday and every in between. Whenever I do get some spare time, I do, because I have really like tight schedule during the week. Thank you once again. Have a good day.